New inflation data came out yesterday, and it looks like inflation is rising again. Will the Fed go full goblin mode? July CPI numbers came in at 3.3% on the year, up from last month. Core inflation, which is the one the Fed cares most about, was once again stuck, unchanged on the month and year-on-year at 4.7%. That would mark the 32nd month now of core stuck above 4.5%. That's 2 years and 8 months of transitory inflation. I've mentioned in previous videos how the Fed believes the longer core is stuck, the more entrenched inflation becomes. People come to expect it, so they raise prices and demand pay hikes instead of buying the transitory line. Indeed, we are seeing that now. I recently mentioned car workers are demanding 46% pay hikes. United Airlines just gave 40%, and UPS just agreed to a new contract that pays delivery men $170,000 per year. I know I'm also wondering if I picked the wrong industry. What's concerning is the biggest thing holding inflation down this past year has been energy, as global recession and post-Ukraine normalization pulled gas prices down 20% and energy overall down 12.5%. But that is now reversing, with oil prices up 24% in the past 6 weeks as major producers, including Saudi Arabia, strangle production, while Joe Biden wipes out domestic oil to entertain environmentalists. Meanwhile, the main drivers of inflation, which are shelter and food, are both continuing or getting worse. Food shortages in particular are on the horizon worldwide from a combination of anti-agriculture policy, rising prices and capital costs, with an assist from the weather. In other words, the low-hanging fruit has been picked, and now inflation could go from stuck to rising again. The worst case scenario for the Fed is what happened in the 1970s. After inflation soared to double digits in 1973, it came back down and was stuck at 6% core for about 2 years, immediately followed by a resurgence back up to double digits for almost 5 years. Even worse than the first go-round. Now, 6% is just over a point above where we're stuck today, 4.7, and the Fed can read those charts too. So what is next? Beyond individual prices, the real driver of inflation is money supply. I've mentioned that money supply is now shrinking at the fastest rate since the Great Depression, partly by Fed tapering, but mostly because bank lending is slowing. But a recent article by Ryan McMacken at the Mises Institute calculates that we've still got around $4 trillion in money destruction, that's about 22%, just to get back to the pre-pandemic trend. That's not pre-pandemic prices, that's just the trend. This is unlikely to happen without breaking a lot more financials, which the Fed and Treasury are apparently unwilling to do. Their response to March was to pump out yet more money. So in all likelihood, the money supply will not sort itself out. Rather, all that money will keep gradually leaking out from savings to spending, meaning elevated inflation for years to come. Maybe in a few years, $170,000 will seem cheap for a delivery guy. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.